recording this. Welcome to Yarnchix podcast, What Mimi Made in 2023. It's Monday. Just like last year, I managed to check all my podcasts from last year to see what I've made. And I think this year I can honestly say it will be a half an hour little check-in to review what I created, because there isn't so much, and I'm kind of happy that I haven't got so many projects. There's not so many projects, and I think it was kind of apparent in my podcast with all my health ups and downs and just in general less time for knitting. I assume that I will be more focused on knitting again this year. I feel the itch to cast on lots of things, so watch this space. I am gonna start right away with the biggest and best make. Well, I always think all the makes are the best, but let's start with my two. Let's start in the beginning, because I'm actually wearing the Fest West, which is a design by Amber O'Brien, and it would really count as a 2023 cast off if I had not mentioned it in the 2022 kind of roundup as the last thing I finished, which I literally did. I think I finished this after Christmas. It was my Advent knit where I knitted like a stripe every day. Maybe at some point I was catching up, but it was pretty much on point with finishing and having it ready to wear for New Year's Eve, which was my big plan. And I love it so. It was the Stash Went swap calendar that somebody made for me in our podcasting swap, and Fancy had chosen these colors. I added in some like a Christmas special, which is this kind of sparkly yarn, and some things from Stash, but I think it's only 3 things. Like a hand spun somebody gifted me, the Keatscan Christmas special, and my Keatscan favorite color, which is this warm purple, the Cotty. So alas, it was a very fun project, so much so that I'm dreaming to cast one on. Like I said, I've got cast on meters. So Fest West is potentially something I will knit throughout the year. And then there was another vest, which was like a long term whip, which I finally finished in 2023. It's this small Penguono. It started off, because I've got a little button on the inside, I'll show you. So I added this little button on the inside and an I-cord fastening on this side, which I will make a little bow, like this is how I wear it. Okay, well, sorry, I interrupted myself. So I started this as a Pengweeno, which is the child-sized Stephen West's Penguono pattern. And yeah, started it as in the child's version, as a small version, never picked it up again for ages, and then decided, I like it so much, I'm gonna hack it to extend it, and now I have this really cool body hug. It actually fits very much perfectly, and I like this different closure thing that I've got happening there. I love wearing it. I used mainly Beiroa by Rosa Pomme. Then, so this yellow, for example, is only Beiroa, and this red, and this kind of pinky. And then I added kind of scraps, and I tried to stay as light as possible throughout, because I have one Penguono, which is like the oversized version. I used a lot of superwash yarns and marled it like really compact, and it's very heavy. It's like a very heavy coat. So I really enjoyed this vest. Also, I didn't add any sleeve. Yay, it's beautiful. I really love it. I really, really, really love it. I especially love all these kind of pinks and greens. And it's one of my favorite makes from the last year. Like I said, I have a favorite, which I'll show you next. But nonetheless, this is the West Knits of the year 2023, and I'm glad I picked it up and finished it, even though it wasn't as intended for kids. You know, sometimes it's good to make things for our inner child, for ourselves. Yeah, again, the biggest make from 2023 is this Harry Styles cardigan hack, where I used the pattern shared by J.W. Anderson, a PDF pattern, and my child chose these entirely different colors, and I made it as an oversized kind of preteen blouson shaped coat, so it's kind of more cinched at the bottom. I took out quite a lot of the width, I think by omitting 2 of the panels. And yeah, and then I created everything very much as to pattern, apart from trying at first, like really trying to make it modular so I could knit it in. I was using some of the West Knit methods from the Penguono to try and kind of knit in to the stripes, and I realized actually I was giving myself a harder time. It would have been easier to just knit stripes from the get-go, so I ended up knitting stripes and then seaming them along these lines. Successful, not so successful, a mix. So this is where I was like knitting it on and in. Also successful, yes, but not so successful. You know, it kind of makes these wonky lines, and my child isn't a perfectionist. She wouldn't have minded, and she really loved it. And then come the winter, where it was the time to wear it, so it was finished, ready for us to go to the show, which was really important to my child. And then come winter, she realized she wasn't going to wear it, and she just said, "Mum, you have it around a really big birthday we had in the family," and she's like, "Why don't you wear it? I know you love it, and you know, you've tried it on, we know it fits you." So the good child gave it back to me, and I wear it lots actually. At work, it keeps me warm. I added these 2 pins, which I love. One is from Ryan Stats, who is Susan Knitlib, one of my favorite podcasts, and Knitlib Susan's partner made this procrastinator pin, and I managed to score 1. And I make these summer knitter pins. I don't know if you can tell. It's like an ice cream cone made from yarn that's melting. Yeah, I absolutely love it, and it was a lot of love and care that went into this garment, and now I get to wear it, although it was created as a hug for my child. But I love it. It's been one of the funnest things to chat about at work, and obviously some people recognize it, some people don't, because the color combinations are completely different. It's just like a modern classic thing. I love it. So these are the 2 woolly garments I made this year. So you see, I haven't actually created so many woolly garments. I have some woolly accessories, and some of them are missing in action, but a lot of what I've made is, for example, this stack of Linumuka linen t-shirts and shirts, I would say, blouses. This was Taro tea. Oh, and the light is blurring it out. I don't know how to... Anyway, so Taro tea is a pattern by Kiyomi B, originally made from 100% silk, and it was the pattern I featured in this year's linen knit along. I work at Vollen, and we have our in-house yarn, which is Linumuka, and every year I host a Linumuka knit along or craft along, and I choose a pattern. I've already got an idea for this year, so I'm kind of excited. Siren break. I'm happy I've already found what I wanna. It's one of those goes on for a long time. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm already kind of half got my mind set on the pattern for 2024. In 2023 it was this, and then I made a dye lot mistake here halfway through. I picked up a skein from another dye lot, so I've got this really patchy dye lot block across my chest. So it's a great example to show people this is what happens if you don't check your dye lots. I, again, like often in these linen summer projects, I knit 2 sizes larger than my kind of, I'm a large kind of medium, and I make a XL or 2XL to have these like really roomy, airy t-shirts, which I like to wear in summer. This is really cooling to wear, so I think this is a very successful make. It's neat, and the only issue with it is the dye lot across the chest of all places, but well, I'm not gonna undo that because it was a bit of a push to get it done. So much stuck in there, and I like really small needles for linen, and it's a bit challenging for the hands, but I managed. And I kind of distracted myself, or kind of put this into the mix, which is the pom top. It was in the summer pom-pom fruits was the theme last year, or spring pom-pom, and it was actually designed from Linumuka by Heidi, so Heidi Kästner, and I chose this really cool red. It's okay, the camera cut out at that point. So this pom top grew on my needles in the summer, and I loved wearing it during wedding wool weekend because it was so hot, and this is so airy and light. Again, I knitted size 4, and this is at a complete different gauge to how I usually knit Linumuka, with 3.75 needles, so a whole millimeter thicker. Hence it's really loose and playful. And yeah, a new cast off, which I shared in the recent podcast, is actually made to be worn underneath here. The little ripple bralette that I made from silk that I bought at Wedding Wool Weekend. Whilst wearing this, I was like, these colours, yes, perfection. And the third Lino Mocha top is Kuutartee. This is by Sari Nordlund, and Kuutartee is... Kuutar means the moon goddess, and there's a whole series of this really cool textured lace pattern. I think Sari is actually working on a sweater, the Kuutar sweater. I'm excited. I really loved knitting this. And I finished it in September, so after the knit along, and I just ploughed on. This stockinette was a bit of a slow finishing moment, but my friends believed in me, and their help with like little stitch markers, like progress keepers, stitch markers as progress keepers, helped. That was really good advice. So I actually, 2023, I ended up making these 3 Lino Mocha tops. So Taro tee, Pomme top, and Kuutartee. Very happy with these 3 new summer garments. Yes, then on the note of accessories, I've managed in my summer break to finish a pair of socks. Oh my god, ring the alarm. I never finish socks. I really like them. I wear them quite a lot, hence they're a bit pilly, and it's all sorts of different sock yarns, and I used like a dice to determine the colour of the stripes. I have one main colour. This one is purple, and here I have a sparkly green, and I'm really sorry for how used and worn they are. I really like the colour work here at the top, and I used the same colour for heels, and then another same colour for toes. They're the pajama, striped pajama socks. They're the Patchworkquilt socks, and afterwards I started a test knit, which is the stripy pajama socks. I only managed to finish 1 sock, so I don't count them as finished. I need to make a second sock. And they were 2 easy bandanas. They're little scarves by Paula M that I knit from Brushmere. Kind of brushed boucle cashmere. It's really lovely, and I gifted it at Christmas. So I made one largish one and a smaller one, and they both went to people around Christmas. And another thing, so this is a stand-in. This is the Foster hood, designed by Fabienne Gassman, my dear friend from London. And I really love mine. This is made with mocoche and silk mohair, hence this halo. And it's a stand-in for the one I finished this summer, which is was knit in a really bright orange, and then I added the red intarsia. I kind of tried out this intarsia pattern for Fabienne, and I just saw her pattern is up, and yeah, you can buy the Foster hood as a single pattern now. Let's put it on my new haircut. Does it still work? I really like it, and I really like the red one. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, look, it kind of holds my kind of fun new bob. Yeah, I went out and had a haircut today, and I still think it's a bit silly because it's like longer at the bottom than at the top. I'm not really used to it, but yeah, I like it in this hood, so I'll probably be wearing this quite a lot. And I gifted the orange and red one, hence I haven't got it, and I gifted 2 shawls, so that's the accessories. And then last but not least, you'd have seen this in the podcast, it's my Magic 3-mile set. Okay, I keep it in this little box for you, for now. It's a set of 3 items. a top. Oh, let's put this down on my lap, which is this. This is going to be funny, but anyway. Popcorn bonnet by Misha and Puff in this really cool Zuri silk from Keatsgarn. It's Lila Liebling, but I think it's the broken up one. I think it's more purple, less speckly, more purple. Then that I think means deconstructed. Lila Liebling deconstructed with this Penelope, which is a silk merino blend from the Reum Natura. I really love how it makes the popcorn bonnet kind of shine with this kind of watercolor effect. And here, this is the Elizabeth Zimmerman baby surprise cardigan. I love it, it's so cute. I used the same leftover yarns as the socks, and so you can kind of see it's like a color scheme. They kind of go together, and the same dice kind of method where I roll the dice to see what color and then how many garter rows I would knit. And yeah, I had a lot of fun making this, though I like literally didn't know what I was doing throughout the whole process. But you know, you end up with a cardigan, which is really cute. And I added these vintage buttons, which I've had a long time. Yeah, so another bottom, a top, another top. So I call this the bottom in the set. So top, which could also be accessory, bottom, which should also be a top, and toy. So this is a set of 3. This is how I want to show you how creative you can be. We're always welcoming people who like just make up their sets. What is a top? What is a bottom? What is your toy or accessory? Feel free to join in this craft along for little people. I made Aggie Sheep from the book Moosh and Friends from Cynthia, whose full name is Cynthia Valley. I love the outfit. So I made the like little vest a bit cropped, and then the bag, and I used the pattern for the squirrel's dress for Aggie Sheep because I wanted to use more of the colored yarns from this magic dice sock. So yeah, I love Aggie. Aggie's not going anywhere. She's staying with me. Kind of. She sits here most of the time, or here in the window. Oh, can you see her if I sit her here? Yeah. Sorry. That didn't. I'm sorry, I just took that all apart. So Aggie Sheep is staying here. This is a present, this is a present, and then the set will be gone. And that's everything I made in 2023. I filmed a little knit pile, so you will have that as a little summary, as a little visual, all mashed back together. I'm gonna check my list, but it's literally not been like a hyper productive year, but I have mended quite a lot, and I'm actually really pleased that I've had this focus to reassess some knitwear or garments and fixing things so that I can use them. This whole weekend I've spent darning socks, and I re-knitted some toes because there was just holes walked into my kind of warm house socks that I knitted at too loose a gauge, so no wonder they're walked through. And there's some kind of bare bits still, like on the heel. There's, so I'm gonna use a book. Where is it? I'm gonna use this book, Nach Komput Kommt Schöner, to do some duplicate stitch on the heel. So yeah, I'm kind of pleased that mending has become an important part of my kind of weekly routines, and so it should be, because I knit a lot. I have a lot of knitted things, so I should make them to fit me better, so I mend things so they fit better, or to kind of reassess. Reknit some sleeves. I have to reknit some sleeves. I realized one is shorter than the other for a really warm sweater I like. And yeah, just keep at it. Keep making things that I've made a little bit better by fixing them up. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me here today with my knits by Mimi in 2023. And yeah, more content coming soon, but it was a nice way to say goodbye to last year and welcome in new ideas and new plans. I'm sure I'll share more of this kind of vlog content throughout. Watch out for a balaclava #2 vlog and all my ideas here on the space. Thank you for your likes and your subscribes and for being here, for visiting me. That's really nice. Have a really great day and happy crafting!